All you hoes. You and your mammy and your granny too. I'm sick of this shit. All you hoes. Don't give a damn what you wanna do.
They like the chaos.
They like the chaos. So when you're able to
The chaos.
let that chaos reign with,
The chaos.
let that chaos reign with,
The chaos.
let that chaos reign with.
Must reign.
Welcome again to another session, another stream here on the Chaos Reign Show. I am Chaos Reign here. Part 2. This debate in regards to patriarchy and feminism by Jay Dyer and Lily Turner. Who will take all? And my thing is this: if you didn't catch the first video, you might have to follow the page or become, what they call a membership to find that one. But anyhow, we're gonna do part 2. We're gonna get as far and more close to this as possible with some commentary. And so far, you be the judge. Let's go. Fairies, enjoy.
2 interruptions, but go ahead.
Yeah,
So I want to know how any of this helps your case to prove feminism is good for society.
Well, we can get there now that we've defined feminism.
Okay.
So destruction of nuclear family is another one that you would like to add to
Sure.
the definition.
And mind you, they did not. She did not define feminism, because throughout the whole session of almost going an hour towards this, they were talking about other things, getting an idea of other forms of definitions of society, etc., etc. Now we're hoping they'll get into the meat of the conversation at hand. Let's go. And make sure you guys comment at the end of this video and like this video and subscribe to the Chaos Reign Show.
Definition of feminism.
That's why the people who fund it matter, is because they say that.
Okay, I would argue that the destruction of nuclear families is not inherent to most feminist movements and is bad. So I reject that part of your definition.
So the people who want that in society and say that it does that don't matter. Because you have
they're not the feminism that I'm fighting
because you have a definition that is so elastic to make it anything that you think helps women. And that's why I've said you've already lost the debate, because you're elastic.
It's
not
empowerment.
specific.
You define.
That's why I actually
empowerment of women and promotion of femininity. So empowerment means things
That
like
is
removing obstacles.
ambiguous.
And promotion of
It's
femininity would
ambiguous.
be like making feminine traits viewed as respect-worthy.
Like submitting to authority in men? Is that a feminine trait?
No, I would not say so.
So it's not clear. It's ambiguous.
I would say
so
submission is.
You have to
feminine.
define it.
I would say submission's feminine, but I don't think it's to men specifically. No.
Oh, okay.
It would be like to any authority, right?
To any authority.
Yeah.
Are most authority men?
A lot of them are, but some are
So it
women.
would be to men.
Nope, it would be to authority. But men aren't a class. Men aren't a class.
But most authorities are men, and they are submitting to that, right?
So?
So it would be.
Yeah, but the idea, okay, you love semantic fights.
No, it's called a debate.
I can do that too. If you want me to just like mock you every time you stutter, we can have a super fun conversation.
It's just how debates work. I'm sorry.
Mocking people when they stutter is not.
Rhetoric is part of debate. Yes,
this is not rhetoric. This is just you being.
If you ever watched an Oxford Union debate, they make fun of each other.
I'm fine with you making fun of each other.
That's what I've been doing.
Okay. Would you like to have a productive conversation too, or do you want to just? Do you want?
Well, at least Jay's making this conversation more enticing. Because really, truly, throughout the whole first hour of this is pretty dull, because they really got into the meat of things. Now they are. Ratty, she take her or not, she better have some bullet points of the conversation. One thing about the feminism nonsense, it did had a role of really slowly neutralizing and destroying certain segments of family structure here in America. It's intended to do that because, remember, you got to keep in mind, the more that they encourage women that life will be better without man, that's where the destruction really starts overall. But let's keep going.
Circle the drain.
I'm having a great time.
That's fine. We can just continue to circle the drain.
And how does this prove feminism is good for society?
Okay, so I already said I would reject the destruction of nuclear family. I don't think it's central to most feminism. I think most,
Was it
especially,
central to Cell 16?
it sounds like it was, but I would say most fourth wave feminists, for example, are not very pro destruction of nuclear family. In fact, there's like an entire like barefoot pregnant movement within the fourth wave that is very much about embracing being pregnant, being motherhood, and like promoting that as a good thing.
Is that the attitude that most feminists in society have?
I would say a lot of young feminists are directly.
Are they the most?
I wouldn't.
No, they're not.
Most also don't want to destroy the nuclear family.
Well, in academia and in
Most
society
feminists
in general,
want to get married and have kids.
does this worldview promote, in general, in society, in academia, and in the corporate world, the destruction of the family, or does it
No.
help it?
It tends to promote it. Yeah, they want
It
women to be
promotes-
mothers
really?
who can also
Feminism promotes women, in society in general.
work. I would say fourth
women
wave
being
feminism is very pro mother.
No,
Yeah,
I asked you about the majority of feminism today.
Most feminists are fourth
that's
wave.
institutionalized.
yeah. Most
How do you know-
institutional
really?
academics are fourth wave.
And they want people to have kids.
Yes.
They're not antinatalists.
No, some of them are, but most of them are
In
not.
institutions?
Yes.
No, that's crazy.
I don't know what
That's
to tell you.
ridiculous.
I've been reading lots of fourth wave
I've been in
feminists.
academia. I've been in institutions.
Me too.
I've never met a feminist in academia or in institutions who thinks that there should be more people and more kids. They all believe in depopulation, the ones that I've met.
That's crazy. I've just met lots of feminists that don't believe that. And regardless, those feminists who are like basically death cult feminists, I'm not interested in advocating for their worldview.
That's fine.
I don't have to own them.
But the history of feminism,
Just like you don't have
and
to own, like, Protestants or
Most
something.
feminism, right? So you've got a nuanced feminism, I guess, is your take, right?
I just have like a pretty traditional like fourth wave feminism.
Okay. So, but it's not historic feminism, right? Or is it first wave?
It's fourth wave,
So it's tied to history?
of course, because there's
Oh,
waves.
so it is tied to history.
Yeah, but the waves,
Oh, but
the
a minute
essentials
ago-
of the
but you said
waves
it
is that
wasn't a
there's.
minute ago.
I've never ever said that feminism isn't tied to history. You've just made that up.
I think we could go back about 20 minutes. So you can do what I do. You know, we go back 20 minutes where you said that the history doesn't.
Yeah, she being a dick now on Jay. Oh man, come on, man. Let's keep it civil here, ladies. Jay just trying to have the conversations. That's all. It's not something you have to. I don't know if I use the word filibuster. I don't know what the hell that is. But come on, let's keep it civil here. Don't be so,
Matter.
I
or
said
need a
for your definition, it doesn't matter. You can hold
you
frame,
just
Jay.
literally
You can do this.
you have double
Jay,
think
hold
going
your
on.
frame.
Have you read 1984?
You can hold
Have
your
you read
frame. I
1984?
have.
Right. You know what
Yes.
double think is?
Yes.
It's the ability to contradict within a couple minutes.
I didn't
and it just
contradict.
goes,
If you remember, we can roll back the tape. We were talking about defining.
think
and I cared-
definitions are
Can I finish
relative?
my thought, or are you just going to interrupt me?
because I'm trying to.
Can I
I'm trying
finish
to-
my thought?
I'm trying to hone
Can I
in
finish my
on
thought?
what this weird mistake is because it's weird.
Guys,
Because-
if we can at least, we'll let the insults go. Okay, if you guys want to insult each other, we'll allow that. But at least let each other finish
Okay.
their thoughts. Go ahead.
Okay. The reason that we went into the history and why I said I don't care about the history is I was asking for a functional definition so we could move past that part of the conversation. I always acknowledge that history was part of the feminist movement and it's tied to
Yeah,
it.
I reject
just-
that there is a definition divorced from history.
I've never said that there's a definition divorced from history. I said I don't
You
need
did,
the
because
history.
you
I
asked
said
me
I
if-
don't need
you
the
asked
history
me-
lesson. I
you
don't
asked me
need the
for that
history
divorce-
lesson.
you
gotta
asked
let
me
me
for
finish,
that.
Jay. You got to let me finish, Jay.
You asked me because you're lying. You asked
I'm
me for
not
that
lying.
divorce. You said divorce from history. What is your definition? That's
I
what you said.
Yeah, I didn't want the history
Thank you.
lesson.
So you just contradicted yourself.
No, I
Again.
didn't contradict myself.
You are
Jay.
a machine of
You're
contradiction.
desperate. You're so desperate. You're like, God, how do I get this win? I asked for you to stop giving me all of the history and just give me a definition so we can
I don't
move the fuck
accept
on.
that there is a definition divorce from history, and you just admitted that. You
So
goofus.
you don't have the brain capacity to define something without a 5-minute monologue about the
You
history.
just admitted you can't do that.
Define
you idiot.
Israel. Are you going to go back 3,000
I
years
will,
to define
correct,
it?
yes, because it's a ancient historical nation. Yes,
So you
correct.
can't define Israel without giving me a 10-minute monologue.
It's a false analogy because feminism is a
not a false
modernist
analogy.
movement. It's a modern movement.
That doesn't
it's not
matter.
an ancient civilization.
That doesn't matter.
It does matter.
No, the
You
extent,
just saying it
the
doesn't matter
extent
just
of the
shows your
historical
lack
time
of
is not
intellect.
at all a false analogy. Extent
You
being
are
different.
melting down right now because you contradicted yourself
I'm melting
within
down
2
because
minutes.
you said that you had 25 years of debate history and you can't.
And you can't
get a single fallacy
Look at
correct.
you. You're melting down.
You said
You're
a false,
spiraling.
How is that a false
You're
analogy?
melting down.
How is that a false analogy, Jay?
Because it's a modern movement. It's not an ancient.
Goddamn, Brian's back there laughing like a mug back here. It's entertaining. Man, listen. You should not complain how Jay's going to lay out his argument, his points in regards to lead on to a bigger issue and the breakdown of between patriarchy and feminism. He just giving you the breadcrumbs. He just follow him a little bit. But I think she just want that. She's want to, I guess, want to be straightforward. But is she straightforward throughout the whole early parts of this conversation? Not much. She's playing into Jay Diller's game, and that's a no-no. If this is a debate, she got to learn the hard way how to debate. All right, let's keep going.
Ancient civilization.
What does that have to do with anything when it comes to
Because
comparing
you contradicted
history
yourself,
for a definition?
and in debates, contradictions are
myself
what
has
make you
nothing to do with the
lose.
false analogy. How is that a false
That's
analogy?
how you lose the debate, correct.
How is it a false
Contradicting
analogy?
is where you
so
lose
you
the debate.
can define Israel without giving me the centuries of history. Is that what you're telling me?
I didn't say that. You just said that.
You said it was a false analogy.
You
So what was the false analogy? I never said that.
You said that. So you're yapping because you got caught.
I didn't get caught.
You did.
Again.
You did. You said that history,
No.
you said history doesn't matter, give me your definition, and then you just said history matters, it's part of the definition.
I did
contradicted
I did not say history matters as part of
You did. Yes, you
Jay,
did.
Part of debating is
Baby, I remember during early parts of the stream, you did mention it. I could be wrong. I got rolled back early parts from that previous stream on this, but you are actually contradicting yourself. I have a feeling you are. No, matter of fact, I don't have a feeling. I know you are. And if I'm wrong, it is what it is. Let's go.
holding frame, right? Would you agree?
Like when you did that, is that holding frame or what is that?
No, that was making fun of you, obviously.
Okay, right.
So part of debating is holding frame.
Like putting dongs in your mouth. Is that holding frame? I don't understand.
No, that's funny.
Is it?
Like, we're
Is
all
it?
laughing about it. Yes, it's
Or are
funny.
we laughing at you?
Kind of the same thing. That's kind of what performers do, right? Yeah. So part of debating is holding frame.
Is any of this going to prove that feminism was good for society? Because
We
the more that
literally
you argue,
can't get there because
the
you are
more that
still
you
quibbling
argue, you make
over.
my case.
I'm
Thank you,
not
by the
making
way.
your case. Again, just
You
an
are.
ad hom. You
Yeah, but
love
it's funny.
fallacies.
That's a
my
joke.
favorite thing about you is that you cite fallacies constantly. You don't know what they mean and you can't define them properly.
Like how history is not part of feminism,
How
but
is it a false analogy to compare Israel, defining Israel?
Because it's
and
an
defining
ancient
feminism.
nation state.
Why
and
does the-
feminism is a modern political, social, revolutionary movement. They don't compare.
So why does the extent of the length
And
of
you
history make them
admitted-
disanalogous?
You've already lost the debate because you admitted that the definition can't be divorced from the history, and then you said the opposite. That means you've massively contradicted yourself within the last 5 minutes.
Again, you're just making shit up. I'm glad that the made-up narrative
everybody
of the story...
heard you,
Okay,
so
all
that's
I'll do
fine.
is, Jay just lost the debate because he's strawmanning me and putting words in my mouth that didn't happen. Wow, I'm really good at debating. Do you want to go back to the actual conversation?
Sure.
Okay, so why is it falsely analogous when you're saying that to define words, you must include the entire history to define the word? Why is it disanalogous to compare feminism to Israel? I asked you to define feminism, and I asked you to define Israel,
I have no
and I
idea
asked you if you could
what
define
Israel
Israel
has to do-
without
this
the
is
3
craziest
centuries of
debate
history.
ever.
Well, you had to go back in history. That's a very good question. Simple. Because words have meaning, but to understand the context meaning, you must go back of where the origins of it came from. And usually you have to go back to history. You're dumb broad. You're dumb. You're stupid. It's just like the etymology of words. And I don't have an etymology book, but if I recall, and I could be wrong, normally with etymology of words, the etymology, they go through a brief, I don't know if it's a history stint of where the root word come from. So you can't just go and define anything. You don't know the context of where it come from. That's going back in history. So really, truly, Jay has a strong point of why he's giving the history of things before it lead up to the definition. You're just too stupid to see it. And I'm not sure when anybody that, if they ever come across this, will see this as well. All right.
And you said, well, it's different. It's a false
Correct,
analogy.
it's a false analogy.
Why is it a false analogy?
Because they're two totally different things. And you already admitted that feminism is a historical movement and that it can and can't be divorced from the history.
So is Israel.
That's making my point, you goofus.
No, it's
Yes,
not.
it is.
I'm saying you can obviously define Israel without going through 3 centuries, which you agreed to. That's why you
It's
don't.
a false analogy because
you
it's
won't define Israel with the 3
It's an
centuries because it's
ancient
just
nation.
long. It's just long.
It's an ancient
Whereas
nation state.
modern feminism only has 100 years. So I
mean,
can give the history of that, but I can't give the history of Israel to define it because it's too long, essentially. That's your argument. That's what. Yes, that is your argument. It is not falsely analogous. And also,
keep
comparing
yapping, it
2
makes
different
my point,
things is the
please.
point
Keep
of
talking.
fucking
The
analogies.
more that you talk, it makes my whole case here that feminism is a net negative for society. Thank you for representing
Honestly,
feminism, by the way.
all you're doing
Thank
is
you
making
for
me be like,
representing
maybe the
feminism.
radfems are right and men got to be out of power because they cannot keep up. If this is what like 2
Yeah, we
masters
can't keep
and a
up, even though
philosophy
you
degree
literally-
do,
right, you literally
honestly,
contradicted yourself
I think the
within
conservatives
5
are right.
minutes.
Don't go to college, guys. You're
called
going to end up like
doublethink.
this. Not good.
I don't recommend people go to college, by the way, because you are the people that teach at college. So you're
I teach
actually,
at college.
you're like the college professors I debated, the women I debated, you're like them. So they should go to college if you want them to be in your position, right?
No, if they end up anything like you, they should definitely not go to college. You're like, I had a philosophy degree and I don't know what fallacies are.
Did I say that?
Basically, yeah.
Was that a cut down?
Yeah.
Good one. Try again.
This would be a perfect moment to read a couple chats here.
Okay.
We have Kat, who gifted 50 memberships. Thank you so much, Kat. Guys, W's in the chat for Kat. Thank you for the gifted 50 whatever memberships. Robert Tanner, thank you for the gifted 50 whatever memberships. Thank you so much. We also have Rachel Wilson in the building. Thank you for the gifted 5 memberships. Really appreciate it. And then we have a couple chats coming in here through Streamlabs. Let me get those pulled up. If you guys want to get a message in, it's $99 and up. We have Intel Wild. Oh, it's coming in as a TTS.
Intel Wild donated $100. Not so bright. Do you like BDSM because you were getting spanked by Jay?
Ah, classic. When you can't defeat a woman, you just have to sexually
Like when
degrade
you do
her
the
and make a joke
dongs in
out
your
of it.
mouth, like that. Is that a good example of what you're talking about?
When I'm sexually
I can't
degrading
defeat a woman,
myself?
so you put dongs in your mouth
No,
because
I
it's
said
funny.
you can't defeat a woman without sexually degrading her and then making a joke.
Like
out
when you
of
put
it.
dongs in your mouth. Is that
was
sexually degrading?
myself. That was myself.
Oh, by yourself. Okay, right. So it's all subjective, like relativism.
Usually you can make jokes about yourself that other
Do you believe in
people probably
relativism
shouldn't.
too?
Yeah, I do.
Really? Mm-hmm. Is it self-refuting?
No.
Is relativism true?
But depends on what you mean by true.
Is everything relative?
Yes, but that doesn't mean it's like subjective.
It
can't
means the
conflate
same
it.
thing. Yeah,
No, it does not.
Yes, it does.
No, it does
Something being
not.
totally relative means that it is subjective.
No. That's,
It
I'm
does.
sorry, that is like a philosophy
No,
101.
it's correct. Philosophy 101, you would learn that if something is completely relative, then it's purely subjective. It's the same.
No.
Yes, it is. It's
No,
the same,
you're
it's the
conflating
same
subjectivism
content.
to cultural relativism at best.
I know the difference between
The
the
opposite
two.
of
It doesn't-
relativism?
Your position
What do
is.
you think the opposite of relativism is?
You've already, now that you've admitted that everything is relative
What do you think it
to
is?
you,
What do you think it is?
It's-
The opposite of
well, there's
relativism.
epistemic relativism, there's cultural relativism, there's ethical relativism.
What's broadly the opposite of relativism?
Everything is relative to your vantage point, your perspective.
What's the opposite of it?
Perspectivalism.
You
No,
don't
it's
know,
not.
do you?
You are an idiot.
It's absolutism. It's not objectivism.
Relativism is not absolutism.
No, the opposite of relativism is moral
It's
absolutism.
objectivism.
No, it's
yes,
not.
it is.
No, the
You're
opposite
an
of
idiot.
You don't
You've
know
never
anything about
had. Have you?
philosophy.
I don't
That's
know philosophy.
crazy. That's
Right.
crazy.
I've debated all the top
I
atheists and
actually-
philosophers, and you
I'm
don't
not gonna
know.
lie. I didn't expect that. You should definitely
The opposite
know
of
this.
relativism is objectivism.
It's absolutism.
It means the same thing.
No, it does
Yes,
not.
it does.
No, it does not.
You have a problem with words
That's
that you
crazy.
think that 2 different words can't mean the same thing.
Okay. Moral absolutism is when you can apply things universally. Objectivism
Correct.
is that something can be like capital T true.
It-
These are
you can
not
use
the same thing.
You can use the terminology. You're arguing
These
over
are
an
not the
idiot.
same
Yes,
thing.
they are.
No, they're not.
Moral objectivism. What is that?
Moral objectivism is believing that there's like a capital T true that you
Correct.
can find. Yeah, that's not the same
No,
thing
no,
as
no,
an
no, no,
absolutism.
it's not.
Kant is more
moral
like an absolutist.
objectivism. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, I
Moral objectivism is that there are moral absolutes. It's that simple.
No.
Yes. What do you mean no?
That's crazy. Can I get
Moral.
water?
So now she wants to run and get water.
No, I'm not running. I'm actually just, I'm gobsmacked.
Oh, there's some under
Oh,
yeah. there's
Right,
some-
because
I'm genuinely
right, because you
gobsmacked
have a
that the Phil
basically
student
you
doesn't
have
know
a,
this.
essentially
That's okay.
you have an elementary school level education, and you're
Yep.
actually debating people who actually
Which
know
is,
what philosophy is.
crazy because despite my little education, you still don't know what relativism is versus like absolutism and objectivism. That's fine. We can move
I've
on.
debated the dude from the Objectivist Foundation, the Ayn Rand Foundation, so I'm pretty sure I know.
Again, then you would
And
know
he
that
presents the
objectivism.
position. Do you understand that a word can mean different things in different contexts? So if I say that something is morally objective, or that it's morally absolute, or that it's not relative or subjective, it all means the same thing, even though it's different words. Did you know that?
That's crazy. Okay.
That's crazy. That words can mean the same
yes,
thing is crazy?
That you don't have any concept of the philosophical compass is crazy to
The
me.
philosophical compass.
Yes.
So memes, meme level philosophy. Yeah.
It's not meme level
It is
philosophy.
a meme. It's a meme.
It's not
meme level philosophy because you
Okay.
thought that words didn't mean the same thing.
Okay.
We have a chat coming in here from Robert. One sec, guys. Let's get that pulled up. There it is. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate
Robert
it.
donated $200. Hey Brian, comment on this discussion. Bloomberg just reported 2 days ago that for the first time ever, white men are slightly now less than half of board members at S&P 500 companies. Progress on GDP?
Thank you, Robert. Do you guys want to discuss that or?
Not. I don't know if that's even true. If that's true, I feel
Maybe it's like
neutrally about
DEI.
it.
Okay.
It depends on like why it's the case, right? I think like white men in general are being like pretty shittily treated by society right now. I think there's like a fair bit of like persecution. So I suspect that the reasons behind that is bad. But maybe it's neutral. But probably it's bad. But maybe it's neutral.
All right, we have 3 other chats, unless Jay, you wanted to weigh in on that one?
No, I agree. It's bad. Yeah.
Sure. We have Whatever Fan. Thank you, Whatever
Whatever fan
Appreciate it.
donated $100. I'm enjoying Jay Barbecue cooking her puppy cheeks better than Gordon Ramsay like a donkey.
Okay.
They like my cheeks. That's all I heard.
We have...
You got cooked, is what they said. I know,
They
you, I
also
know you
said
can't.
I'm
I know
cute.
you can't
They
hear
also said I'm
something.
cute.
Yeah.
There was a nice one that came through about you.
I saw.
All right, we have Grandma Sweaters coming in here in just a moment. Grandma's Sweaters, excuse me.
Grandma's Sweaters donated $100. Erudite that makes no sense. Feminism is a populist movement where each rep in history interprets the definition. Feminism hold ancient beliefs and utilize history as foundation for their beliefs.
Yep.
Okay. It's not a refutation of anything that I've said.
Right.
If you
Right,
guys
but I
want to
understand
engage,
that you can't understand
if you want
objective
to engage with
argumentation.
me,
Right.
I'm right here. But if
Right.
you want to keep fighting like some,
But you're
ghost
arguing
the
in
room,
your
you
cell,
go
in
for
your
it.
head. It's like a hamster wheel running, and you're
I'm
not
not.
actually in the debate.
I've
That's why
defined
the whole
feminism
chat
multiple
is put-
times. I did a lot of
But
labor
did
to
you
get
hear
you to
my?
define
I bet you
feminism.
couldn't restate my internal critique, could you?
No, she's not gonna do that because she's already turned off by your what they call filibuster and asking her for your response, calling her dumb, stupid, and all the other what they consider misogynist type of names for women. So she's not getting bothered. What a sore loser. But let's go.
Me?
Yeah.
It was something about how you think that I'm like self-defeating because you think that my definitions necessarily like contradict each other, which they don't. It was just a false dichotomy.
No, that wasn't the internal critique, but good try.
Okay. Do you want to remind me?
Get more.
Yeah, we have Rachel Wilson. Thank you, Rachel. Appreciate
Wilson
it. Thank you.
donated $100. The most merciful thing that the large family does to one of its infant members is kill it. Margaret Sanger, founder of Planned Parenthood, first wave feminist. Feminism is intrinsically anti-natalist.
Yep.
I just disagree.
Okay.
Good job.
Thank you, Rachel Wilson. Appreciate that.
It's almost like there's lots of camps to a large movement.
So it's elastic. Exactly. Thank you.
Yep. To some degree, yeah, we would agree that there's heterogeneity within any movement.
Right. So it can be defined the way you need it at whatever point in the
No,
debate,
I
right?
defined it really clearly. Like
Very
really
broadly
clearly.
so that you could move it later. And it
And
didn't
why'd
work.
you agree
I'm sorry
to
it didn't work.
Why'd you agree to it?
Because I was setting you up to lose later. That's why.
Oh, it was an 8D chess plan.
Correct.
And then it took
And
you
you fell.
45 minutes to define it later.
No, I just let you sink your own, dig your own hole
Okay,
after
Jay.
45 minutes.
Whatever you need to tell yourself to win.
I bet you 95% of the chat's going to agree with me. What do
I'm
you want to bet?
sure that this
Because
chat
everybody's
agrees
dumb.
with you.
Oh, really?
No,
so
no,
everybody in
I-
the chat's dumb. Thank you.
Oh, I didn't say that. I said I'm sure chatters agree with you. I just don't.
But you think that my arguments are dumb, so they're dumb.
I'm not super interested in what chatters have to say. Viewers are a very different
But
breed.
optics and who won the debate is judged by the audience.
Yeah, but the audience isn't just chatters, right? It's also viewers, and these are not the same person.
I bet the comments are going to say otherwise.
I'm sure the comments on a very right-leaning, decently Eastern Orthodox that has already accepted most of your presuppositions as a show are going to agree with you.
What?
Right-leaning.
Right-leaning?
Yeah. I'm sure that they're going to agree with you, but that doesn't mean that you've won, right? Just like if I put this on my channel and then all of my left-leaning audiences said I won, that's not evidence that I won, obviously.
Are you sure?
Yeah, obviously. That would be like a super
Because
selection bias.
debates are for audiences.
Sure. Did you listen to anything I just said? What's a selection bias?
Well, it's when you choose the evidence based on what you want.
That's not a selection bias. That's called.
Well, you're talking about audiences, and like my audience would like my stuff. So if they like me, then I think I won because my audience liked me. So I selectively chose the audience, is what you're saying.
No. Okay. No. So you know what? Never mind.
No, right.
You're wrong.
No, that's what it is.
It's crazy.
So basically,
you don't know what any of these words mean. You've really impressed people.
Like
a selection bias
how the word
in
objective
science,
just means
so
absolute
a selection
in the
bias in
same
science
sense?
means that like a naturally arising population that you are testing might end up having some emergent trait that you think is a construct true of that group when actually you've already set up the prerequisite methodology to find that trait within it. So my audience is going to like my shit more, and your audience will like your shit more.
That's literally what I just said.
Yeah, but the issue is that you were.
But what is your audience? And I'm going to look it up right now because if you push this feminist babble, your audience is pretty weak. Let me look her up, man. Search. Can't find her. Yeah, I ain't gonna find her. I'll find her in a second. Let me let this play through. Since you say you got an audience. And please, guys, leave comments, like the stream, and share, and subscribe to them.
But that's what I just said.
You were defining.
That's what I just said.
No, you said that you.
That's what I just defined. You idiot.
No.
You're stupid. Like I literally just defined the same thing that you said.
Do you think that when you call me stupid, you win?
No, it's a fact.
Like, what's the purpose behind it?
No, it's factually demonstrated.
Yeah. No, I would say the name call should be at a minimum, but we're gonna allow this. We'll allow this. Yes. Oh yes.
What is the case?
Again, do you think that you're winning by
you
calling
literally
me
give the
stupid?
same definition I did. I don't care.
No, the issue was that you were doing the what's it called when you cherry
I thought you knew the
evidence?
fallacies. I thought you knew the fallacies.
I do. I just don't remember the term.
But you
term for
don't.
it.
You don't. Because you didn't know what an internal critique was either.
Do you remember what the
what?
word is for when you selectively you cherry pick your evidence? What's the word for that?
Well, there's two fallacies. There's the sharpshooter fallacy and the gambler's fallacy. So you might be referring to either of those.
No.
Just cherry picking fallacy?
It's not cherry picking fallacy. It's got
She
like
doesn't
a really
even know the
common
fallacies.
I do.
No, you don't.
Yes.
So
But it's crazy.
What's the gambler's fallacy? If you know the fallacy.
What's a false analogy?
What's the gambler's fallacy?
I don't know.
You just said you knew the fallacies.
I know lots of fallacies. That doesn't mean I know every
Well, that's
fallacy.
one of the most popular ones. You don't know?
Nope.
Incomplete evidence? Fallacy of incomplete evidence?
No.
Suppressing evidence? Okay.
I can't think of the word.
That's
It starts
fine.
with a C.
Sure. We have a few more chats coming through. Thank you, Christopher. Appreciate
Christopher
it.
Scott donated $100.
Thank you.
Absolutism is a form of objectivism. They are intrinsically intertwined, not so bright.
Oh, you thought words only had one
$100
meaning.
donor said it,
You
so it
thought
must
words
be
only had one
true.
meaning. I'm sorry. Sometimes they can mean two different things. It's called a word concept fallacy. Did you know about that
Interesting.
one or no?
I should write that one
You
down
should
so that
actually.
when later you get
because-
mad at me for using the word for two different
Texas
things.
sharpshooter, go look it up. Word concept fallacy, look that up.
Can we
Gambler's fallacy, go look that up.
two
And internal
Thank you,
critique.
Kat. Thank you, Chow. By the way, guys, we did set a super chat goal. We're at 13 of 50. We have about 50 minutes left on it. Kyla will wear a
if you
MAGA
pay me,
hat.
if you give me part of that.
I will give you a $2 bill.
If I'm the reward for it, I'm getting some of that money. But I'll definitely wear the hat.
We'll talk after the
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
We've got to see if we hit the goal, but
We can
it's
hit the goal,
happening.
guys.
50
we can definitely
minutes.
hit the
50
goal.
minutes. Let's see here. We're all caught up.
We should give
Or actually, we have
$100
one.
to whichever chatter can figure out why Jay doesn't understand what a false analogy is and was incorrect in the use of it.
I know what a false analogy is.
That's true, but then why do you use it incorrectly?
I didn't.
You did. So either you're
Comparing the
lying
nation
right
state
now
of
or you're being
Israel,
bad faith.
comparing the nation state of Israel to the history of feminism is a false analogy.
What was I comparing?
You asked for a definition that was not connected to history, and then, by the way, you said that history is bound up with a definition.
So I asked
Oh,
you
so
if
that's
you
a
could
contradiction,
define
right?
Israel. If you could define
You
Israel
said, "Can I
without
do
going
it
through the
without
centuries.
going through the
And you said,
history?
yeah, I could. You
No,
said
I
you,
didn't.
Yes,
I
you said that
said-
you could define Israel without
No, I
going through
didn't.
the
I said I
centuries
have
of
to go-
history.
Now
and
you're
then the reason why
lying.
you said that it's disanalogous is you said Israel has too long of a
No,
history.
you just yapped and didn't listen.
Okay.
I said
frame
you
a
can't.
lot.
I said you can't define Israel without going into the ancient history.
You said that I don't want to, and that it's disanalogous because Israel has long history and feminism has short history.
That would contradict what you just said.
Explicitly what you said.
That would contradict what you just said, like 2 minutes ago.
That doesn't matter. I was catching
you. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So contradictions don't matter in a debate.
Your contradictions matter. Yes.
Oh my gosh! You just admitted that you contradicted, and now you're saying that I'm.
No, I did not.
You did.
No.
You said they don't matter.
No, I said that when you were when I asked you to define Israel, I asked if you could define Israel without going through these centuries of history, and you said that you could.
No,
and then
I said
asked
no.
why.
I did not.
You said that you could.
You're lying. I said I didn't.
The reason why it was a false analogy is because you
You're
said
losing
that the
your mind.
extent was
You're
different.
crazy. You can't hold your
This
claim.
is crazy. This is crazy.
I said you can't because in the same case as feminism, you can't.
You know what? If you want to retroactively change your claim and correct it, fair enough.
I think maybe you misheard.
No.
Because it wouldn't work for my argument if I said
agree.
the opposite.
That's why it was stupid of you to say.
I didn't say that.
Yes,
I said that neither feminism nor Israel could be defined apart from their history.
You said that
and
Israel?
You're lying right now.
No, I'm not. You said
you
that
are lying.
You said that you wouldn't go through
lying.
the reason why these were disanalogous. The reason why these were disanalogous is you couldn't go through the centuries of history for Israel because of the extent. And this is why I laughed at you and I said they're disanalogous because one has long history and one has short history.
You just misheard because you don't listen.
I didn't. Maybe you misspoke.
You can't understand.
I can grant you that you misspoke. Maybe you misspoke.
No, I didn't misspeak.
You obviously did.
I didn't misspeak.
You obviously did, but
it's disanalogous because the two things are different. Separate from that, I said that I can't define Israel apart from history. You don't even understand what I'm saying.
You can compare two different things. The things that I'm comparing is defining things without their history. And you said that I could define Israel without going through the centuries.
I said
that's fair that you misspoke.
No, I didn't misspeak.
Okay.
You just don't listen.
Okay.
We got a chat coming through here. We got Ali Burr.
Yeah, man. I know this is so hard to go back and forth with a feminist. Jay, what you doing, man? You're gonna lose brain cells doing this, man. Listen. She don't want to have the conversation. She wants you to really just play on her terms. And really true, that's not gonna happen. Not when it's run by a man's channel, man. It ain't gonna happen. She better off going on her channel with that bullshit. Anyway, let's keep going.
Night, thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Alaba Knight donated $100.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
Erudite, please remove Andrew Tate from your Twitter banner. You're not worthy. Occult feminism will help with the after-co.
My favorite thing is dumbasses who think that I have up there because I like Andrew Tate. It's clearly a meme. It's obviously a meme.
Earlier on in the discussion, you said that feminism is unavoidable. I think during your opening introduction.
Unavoidable and necessary, yeah.
Do you want to get into that a little bit? Like why is it unavoidable?
I think because as nations grow, essentially, eventually you will want women to join the workforce to be able to compete at like a global scale. And therefore it becomes inevitable because you need women to join the workforce. And as soon as women join the workforce, they now have way more leveraging power by having money and certain rights. And once they have those rights and those leverage powers, they're necessarily going to leverage that power to give themselves more freedoms that they obviously wanted. What are you asking right now?
If it didn't exist for thousands of years in history, then it wasn't necessary.
I'm pretty sure you literally said that multiple countries fell because of like liberalization. So
I'm just asking you.
Liberalization and giving women more rights.
Did it exist for thousands of years until modernity?
Not all the forms of it.
Okay, so then it's not necessary and it's not inevitable.
It's absolutely necessary at this point because
if
in
it didn't for thousands of years, then it's not necessary and inevitable.
I'm going to teach you something crazy.
You're not going to teach anything.
Over time,
you're not going to teach anything.
Technologies develop, which means that the way that
you're just
the
yapping
Romans,
and talking and asserting things.
You got to let me talk. The way that the Romans worked their world is not the way that we can work our world, obviously, because things
then
like
it's not
guns
inevitable
exist.
and it's not necessary.
It is inevitable because
was it necessary and inevitable in Rome?
Wait, just let her finish. Let her finish. Go ahead.
Okay, for example, if you don't update to technology, your society tends to fall behind.
None of this is
relevant.
Technologies
let her finish.
So technologies that make feminism necessary and unavoidable would be things like tampons and things like birth control. This is absolutely true, and they're never going back in the hole. We're never putting the Colgate back in the fucking tube, right?
Wow.
I will give you a pushback, Miss Turner. Yes, tampons are necessary. Yes, you need the plug up so there's no leakage of the crimson coming out your box. So I will agree that. The other thing I disagree is this thing about the birth control. Since birth control has been laid out and presented to you ladies have been having a lot of intercourse with very small little set of men. And I mean small. And eventually when it does go your way, which all of them don't, most of these relationships anyway, they're most likely situationship than anything else. You'll go turn to the man, most likely a black man, if you're a black feminist, like you see on the computer or on the monitor, that you better off just go deal with Mr. Charlie, because no black men don't want that. He ain't gonna do all that nonsense that back, Yeah, he ain't gonna do it. He's not gonna deal with it. So anyhow, like I said, that is the one thing that's a big mistake when they create the birth control pill. Because now you just having like wild sex, freely sex, and not dealing with the consequence if there's any. All right, let's go.
So Poland is a great example of a country that didn't update its technology, and as a result, it got stomped. When the beginning of, I believe, World War I or World War II, they invested in cavalry because the Polish cavalry was like the greatest thing, the Winged Hussars, everyone loved them, but tanks became a thing, and they got absolutely, utterly dumpstered and destroyed, which is why for societies to compete at a global geopolitical level, you have to keep up with technology. The reality is that China wants to win over America, which means they're going to allow women into the workforce, they're going to give them tampons, they're going to give them birth control. You have to
None of that proves that it's necessary and inevitable.
Yeah, I got to push back. It's not because they're thriving because they have women in the workforce. Women always work, you dumb bitch. Women always work. I'm not sure why is it now, since yesterday, we has now discovered that women just now say they've been working now and discovered work for the last, 30, 50, 60 years? I mean, come on, man. I don't think these women are doing their research due diligent. I don't think Ms. Turner has really looked into this and really opened her mouth and really think long and hard if this makes sense, in my opinion. I think she's babbling. But what y'all guys say? Anyhow, let's go.
Proves that it's necessary and inevitable because the technology changes at a global level, and for you to compete at a global level, you have to allow women into the workplace.
So she just yaps. This is like her whole thing is to just yap. If it didn't happen in Rome, then it wasn't necessary and inevitable, and that proves my point.
Do we live in Rome anymore?
Oh my gosh, are you serious? You're that stupid.
Do we live in Rome anymore? Or the technology?
You said necessary and inevitable?
Yes.
Was it necessary and inevitable in Rome?
Again, the technology. Or do we live in Rome? Did we live in Rome?
So then it wasn't necessary and inevitable.
Are the technologies the same?
I hope you guys are. I hope they're aware we're in the last days of what we call another empire that is depicted in a similar to Rome, which is America. I hope these guys know about it. I hope she's also aware of this. I hope these people on the panel are aware of this. If not, yikes! All right, let's go.
An argument that isn't just yapping and asserting your position?
Jay, can you
It's an argument.
follow me?
What's the argument?
It was not necessary in Rome because they didn't have tampons.
Then it wasn't
and birth
necessary and
control.
inevitable. Thank you.
It is inevitable because we now
Then
have
it's not
tampons.
necessary. You just said it's not necessary.
Do tampons exist?
That refutes your position.
Do tampons exist?
No.
Did they exist in Rome?
No, they don't exist.
Did they exist in Rome?
There are no tampons.
There's no such thing as tampons.
No.
Okay, great. If the tampons...
There's no such thing.
Did they exist in Rome?
No.
So tampons are not real.
Correct.
Okay. Well, if we're doing this type of debate, I guess that's true. And the sky's purple, and I'm a 12-foot hippopotamus.
We have some chats coming through. We have Flower Pot.
Flowerpot91 donated $100. You two just need to bang already. You are obviously secretly in love.
I'm married.
I think
I'm also married.
They're both married.
Happily.
Thank you, though, for the message, Flower Pot. We have Lucas here. He says, "Dear God, is this the exemplar of today's U.S. education system? This woman is an amalgam of feckless, vapid ineptitude combined with unearned high self-esteem." Do you want to respond to that, Kyla, or?
I'm Canadian.
Huh?
I'm Canadian.
Oh, right.
Even worse.
Okay, there you go. All right.
Actually, Canada is like one of the most competitive education systems.
No, it's worse because it produces examples like this.
We have Intel Wild. Thank you, Intel Wild. Appreciate
Intel
it.
Wild
Thank you.
donated $100. Not so bright, you look like you have gained some weight lately. Moo moo oink oink oink.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I just finished my bulk cycle. So I'm about 15 pounds heavier than I am, and I'm about 120% more muscle than I want, and I started cutting a few days ago. That has nothing to do with it. I'm answering why I'm fat right now.
Are you building muscle bulk or fat bulk?
No. I just said I gained 120% of the muscle that I'd ideally like to maintain after my.
Okay, that's why I said, is that part of your feminism regimen?
Nope, it's just part of putting on muscle, which
All right.
you would not know about, I
We have
guess.
Giovanni. Thank
J.
you.
donated
Thank you.
$100. It's not too much to demand definition for the entire topic of the debate. A good faith debate is contingent on being charitable to the other's intention. Gay sophistry to secure W is lame AF.
That's true. It is.
You got one fan.
It is pretty gay.
Good job.
Is this directed
That's
at Jay?
crazy. You knew that was about you. Oh my God. Thank you. That's so fucking funny.
Dude, you're so cringe right now.
He's like, I know that's me. I'm doing the gay sophistry. That is so funny.
Well, if any of you want to get a chat in, it's $100 for a TTS. You
And remember,
can do that at streamlabs.com.
If you put in enough
whatever.
money,
Yeah.
I'll wear a MAGA hat.
Yeah, let me see where we're at on that. So we're at 17 of 50, so we need 33 more to hit the goal. We got about 45 minutes. You got to do 10 and over super chats over there on YouTube. Or if somebody does a champagne pop, we'll just do it right away. So,
Is that like a big donation?
yeah, it's through Streamlabs. They have to, they do it through Streamlabs. Or if we have Crystal here, they have to do 1 Ethereum. So that's another option. If you
One
guys wanna get-
Ethereum?
1 Ethereum for a...
How much is that worth now?
It's like, I think 1800 last
18-ish,
night, around
18-ish.
there.
Holy shit.
It went down, but it's a little back up. So
You're high class. That's expensive.
I've got some Crystal here if you guys want to get liquored up. So, okay. I would like to continue on a little bit with the debate here. Do you guys want to shift the prompt to,
Sure.
we could talk about patriarchy specifically. We could
Pick a
talk
word
about,
and we'll fight about the definition for another
do you guys
45
want to talk about
minutes.
immigration or something?
No.
No? Okay.
Not really.
Well,
I didn't prep for immigration,
Yeah,
so
no, I was
I
just
wouldn't want to
throwing
talk
it
about
out there.
immigration, yeah.
I'm just, at least with a feminism related topic, trying to think here. Any suggestions?
I mean, we could talk about whether or not you think it's biological or not that men have an innate role to lead or not. Because when you debated Jim Bob, you seem to think that soldiers are who puts on a costume.
What?
You said that a soldier is anyone that wears the costume of a soldier. Right?
I'm pretty sure I was making fun of Jim Bob when I said that. I don't
No,
think
you
anyone
were arguing that there's
Now they're about to talk about war. And really truly, when the discussion this week about restructuring the military and going back to basics, it, in my opinion, is a very good move because it's going to pretty much eliminate a lot of the ladies that are going in the military for a quick check. I mean, quick means that they stand around and look pretty and all that. No, the military is bringing back order and discipline, and they can't have people that's going to sit there and not put in the work, especially meeting the standard fitness tests. And if you don't believe me, I'll Google it. All right, let's go.
no difference between a soldier who's a man and a soldier who's a woman because anybody who puts on the uniform becomes that.
I
Right?
feel like you must be citing Ken. I think Ken was somewhat equalizing
No.
the genders. What are you asking?
No, you were
just
arguing
ask me the
about
question.
whether or not men should be the frontline soldiers. You and Jim Bob particularly were going back and forth.
I'm
right?
fine with men being frontline soldiers. Why don't you just ask me, rather than putting words in my mouth, just ask me what you want to ask me.
I did just
and I'll
ask you a
respond.
question. I said, do you think that there's a gender or natural component that men have that makes them leaders and women not leaders in general?
Yeah, to some degree, yes. And then I think that gets reinforced culturally as well.
What does that mean?
What's the biological pieces?
No, what do you mean when it's reinforced culturally? Like what? What is?
Multiple things. It would be multifactorial. So, okay. Fancy word, I know. Very
Right.
spooky.
I don't know big words. Go ahead.
You do. I'm sure you know what
No, I don't. I don't.
What does multifactorial mean, Jay?
Make your argument.
Okay, sure. So when I say multifactorial in a cultural way, I mean things like epigenetics, right? So I think when we have a culture that reinforces certain things and makes people more successful as a result of those expressions, we'll also reinforce it through epigenetics. It'll turn them on more often, but also then it builds a cultural, social identity of like what it means to be man. And that's both testosterone and neurochemical, but it's also slightly epigenetic, right? But it's also on top of that, it's things like culture and society and what we do.
So there
together.
is a component that's biological, that's genetic, genetic,
Yeah, of
but there's
course.
also a component that you think is cultural.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if it's natural and biological, why ought we put into place a position or a system that is counter to that? That would make that position or system unnatural. That's what I argued at the beginning, trying to make that point again.
Because it's not just biological, right? And I think
But the fact that it's not just doesn't address the question that's being asked.
because by limiting people
That's a
arbitrarily,
parse-hole fallacy, by the way. Do you know that?
because by limiting people arbitrarily, I think you decrease your
It's not
innovator scale.
arbitrarily.
It is arbitrarily. So, for example,
You just admitted that there's a difference, so it wouldn't be arbitrary.
it would be arbitrary. So, say for example, well, you
is
don't
like
want
talking
to
to a
don't
child.
do
Oh my
ecological
gosh.
fallacies on me, right? So, if we have like a bell curve, right, of men and women, and men tend to be a little bit more extreme, and say we're selecting for a job that's purely
So you're
about.
repeating the first 20 minutes of this discussion and ignoring what I just asked you.
If you want me to respond to you, I can. If you want to just like bloviate,
But
sigh,
you're
and be
not
angry,
responding.
we
You're
can
just
do that.
you're just
I'm trying to
restating
give
the
you a
first 20
response.
minutes.
I'm trying to give you a response.
It's not a response.
Okay,
It's
I can just sit
repeating
here
what
and you
said.
can be
So
like,
it's like a
mad at me.
machine.
Fallacy, fallacy. Or do you want me to respond?
You can try.
Okay. You sure? You're the leader here.
Try.
Okay. So at an individual level, right? I don't want a system that would limit any single individual from achieving higher levels than they can otherwise achieve. What? Why are you mad?
It's just like talking to like a child. It's just
Okay, what word are you mad about? I know words are
I
very
want to know
sensitive for you.
what justifies the position that you're arguing for, that patriarchy should not be the norm, but feminism.
I've never
ought
said
to-
that.
Oh my God.
I've literally never said patriarchy
They're
should be
mutually
the norm.
exclusive
They're not mutually
positions.
exclusive.
Yes, they are.
They're not.
Feminism is a
We
revolutionary
live in a
movement.
patriarchy and feminism exists.
That doesn't mean that they're not mutually exclusive.
Yes,
That's
it
a
does.
stupid argument. No, it's not. That's an appeal to that's a naturalist fallacy. The fact that it is so, then it must be good or it must be right.
I'm
That's
not
a
saying that it's
fallacy.
good or right. I'm saying that they both exist.
The
which means
fact that
they're
they
not
exist
mutually
doesn't
exclusive.
mean that the positions
How
are
are they
coherent.
mutually exclusive?
They can be ideological or epistemically incoherent, even if they exist at the same time. You don't know that?
Okay. So how are they mutually exclusive, Jay?
Because they're contrary positions. Patriarchy is an anti-feminist position. That's what I'm arguing.
I would not agree with that by and large. Do you
It's
think
a-
patriarchy just means that
that's-
it wants to oppress and crush women?
You admitted that feminism is a historical movement. All of its proponents are revolutionaries who wanted an egalitarian society and did not want a patriarchy. They're mutually exclusive. So you've
I just disagree.
redefined the position to be your own feminism that's not relevant to what we're debating.
I don't have to argue for those women. I don't think that they're mutually exclusive.
But your
concepts.
position is stupid then, because it's an ambiguous position that's just anything that you subjectively think helps women.
Nope. I just don't think that. Nope. Okay. I don't think that feminism is doing a good job by just dismantling patriarchy unless the patriarchy is enforced.
Okay, we haven't heard why feminism's good other than GDP.
That's because you keep
No, it's because
quibbling-
you didn't give an argument.
No,
you
it's
just
because
said
you keep
GDP.
quibbling over words.
You just said GDP.
You get
No,
really
you
mad,
didn't give an ought.
And then you got like super
No, I called you out on
morally
oughts.
epistemic
I called you out on
about
oughts,
GDP.
which you can't do.
I will use literally any fucking word because I know you really love words to
GDP? Are you serious, girl? Whoa, GDP? No, not even close. This is delusion. This is a straight up textbook of delusion. And yeah, I feel the school system that a lot of young people that become young adults go into is not developing their inner thinking, their inner brain, in my opinion, making it more dependable. But why not? All right, let's go.
try
Yeah,
to
debates have to do with
try to
words.
It's crazy.
Why
You
ought
are
we
the-
have?
You are
Why
the
ought we have? So
epitome of
she can't
Heidegger's
tell us
chatter.
why we ought to have feminism.
Just so you guys
she
know,
can't give an
this
ought.
is chatter. This
she
is what
can't
we're
give
talking
it. What's
about.
the ought?
We can't. I don't even want to go there because
Because you don't have an argument.
No, because you can't engage with me because you get so persnickety about
What
words.
is the argument that feminism is right for society?
It is beneficial to society because it improves innovator skill. It allows more
Yeah,
people
so
to enter the
GDP again.
workforce. GDP is one of the
Yeah,
things. that
and
it
why are we
does.
supposed to think that's the good?
Because I think it is morally good to allow
You think
maximal
that? No,
levels of
why is
freedom
that
of-
the good?
Because I believe that it is good.
Oh, so it's you subjectively saying because it's the good.
No, I'm a divine command theorist.
But when we went to God, God didn't ever give us a feminist society.
Yeah, but I don't
By
think,
your own admission.
Actually, I think by my definition of feminism, we both agreed that ancient Christianity was feminist.
No,
and then
that's
we're like,
moving the
you know what?
goalpost.
Never mind. Feminism is not that thing
That's
anymore.
moving the goalpost.
It's not moving the goalpost in any way, shape, or form.
You admitted.
I have had the
you
exact
admitted
same
that the society
definition of the fucking
you
word
admitted the
whole
society.
time. You just don't like it.
No, you have an elastic, broad definition that you allowed to fit.
I've specified it as much
it's
as
a
possible.
Monarchy and a patriarchal society in ancient Israel. That doesn't help feminism. That's not your position.
Absolutely,
There's no feminism
it does,
then.
because it gave women like rights to owning
That's
land.
not
it created
feminism.
Inheritance. Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Feminism is a modern revolutionary movement, you idiot. It's not an ancient movement.
This is unironically
It's
you
not
being
an
like,
ancient
it's not civil
movement.
rights because the Civil Rights Act didn't exist
You're
yet.
debating feminism,
That's not how
which
this
you
works.
said is a
word-
historical movement.
A word can mean multiple
You said it's a
different
historical
things.
movement.
I agreed, but yes, it's a historical
So it's not an
movement,
ancient
and it's a
civilizational
construct.
movement.
It's a construct.
It's
and
a
an idea.
modern revolutionary social movement.
That doesn't matter. That doesn't mean that
It
we can't
doesn't matter.
find elements
It
of
doesn't
feminism in the
matter.
past.
She just
Of course.
lost the debate again for the fourth time.
This guy just
She
lost
said
the
it
debate
doesn't matter.
4 times in a row because he didn't even know that there are 4 waves of feminism, and he just kept on going. But there's 3. But there's 3.
Yeah, if
See how
there's 4,
stupid
there's
that sounds?
also 3. That's a point. That's a point I'm
That's
making
a
in terms
really
of logic.
stupid argument.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
There's still 3 if there's 4.
The only reason why he gave you that, if he ever did give you that, is to show his daughters watching him closely that he's a changed man. That's the only answer. Yeah, let's keep going.
You just
didn't know
didn't
that?
realize that there was
There's
4
also
waves.
2 and
I
there's
think-
also 1.
Chat. He didn't know.
It
that
doesn't
there was 4
matter.
waves.
It doesn't matter how many. I don't care if there's
history
16
matters,
waves.
but it doesn't matter that there's
No.
4 waves. But the history matters, but it doesn't matter that there's 4 waves.
No,
there was 3, so it doesn't matter that there was 4.
You're not defending your position.
Crazy.
She doesn't even listen.
There's nothing to listen to. Like you're literally just like you're
Dude,
just
you literally didn't know that.
bloviating
You said that you're a
endlessly.
relativist.
Yes.
You just said that it's your definition and you're the source of your argumentation.
I'm sorry.
That means you lost the debate because you can't appeal to anything outside of yourself.
That's not true. Again,
Yes, no,
if
that
we
is
want to do
true.
Agrippa's dilemma, you're just
don't-
falling into dogmatism. Dogmatism's stupid too.
No.
Yeah,
I do
infinite regression
I do
is
internal
stupid too.
critiques. I do worldview
How do you solve
analysis.
infinite regression and dogmatism?
Because I don't
as
believe
in your
in
worldview. How do you solve?
foundationalism.
How
You're
do you
not even
solve
gonna
Agrippa's
understand.
dilemma? How do you do it?
Because I'm not a foundationalist.
All
I'm not
axioms are
subject to-
circular, fundamentally. All axioms.
That's my position. I know.
Yeah.
That's why I'm
So
an
how do you solve
epistemic
that?
holist.
How do you solve that?
By
Doesn't
worldview
that mean that, like,
apologetics. So you're
none
not
of these
even
things
listening.
matter.
You're yapping.
It's all circular, anyways.
No, not everything is circular.
How do you solve your dogmatism?
Fundamentals. Why are you yapping if you don't want to know the answer?
I'm just doing what you're doing. I'm not gonna lie. I've put on the clothing of Jay. Okay, I'm performing now. I don't have as good of hair though, or
what?
sunglasses. I don't have as good of hair to perform as Jay, or sunglasses.
Okay.
Keep answering. I'll keep doing it. Watch.
So there's a difference between something being circular at a normative level versus paradigm, fundamental, epistemic holism. But that's
Aren't axioms all
philosophy
circular
debate.
though, Jay? Didn't you just agree to that like 2 minutes ago? See, he's contradicting himself. He doesn't even know what he's talking about. This is crazy. I just won the debate.
Yep. Spurg.
Yeah, I'm doing exactly what you do. That's true.
All right, we have a couple chats. We have Dank Naked with the 50. Thank you for the soup chat. Kat, thank you for the soup chat. We have Lucas again. Yes, dear, what this chatter says, parentheses, yours truly, is indeed true. I'm on my firm's associate hiring committee. I would describe you as a quote-unquote mediocrity, but in all candor, even that would be gross hyperbole. Wow, okay. Response to Lucas or no?
Lucas, does your girlfriend know that you masturbate to bullying women online? Because I don't know if she'd like that.
She might be watching with him. Maybe they both wrote this together.
Maybe.
Thank you, Lucas, for the soup chat. I do appreciate it. We have 2 chats coming in here through Streamlabs. One moment. We have the great, one sec, guys. It is loading. Every day I'm struggling, asks this.
Every day I'm struggling donated $100. Not so erudite. What is the ontology of logic from your worldview? Are ethics universal?
Do you want to respond to?
I'm a divine command theorist. I believe that God is fundamentally relative in how he approaches things, and I do my best to use exegesis, eisegesis, and divine revelation to understand what God's will is and to enact that in my life and understand
Pure
others.
gibberish. So there's no such thing as divine command theory that is relative.
Yep, you found one.
Pure gibberish.
Kyla, can I
found
have
one.
you just scoot your microphone to the edge of the table there? Perfect.
Yes.
And then we have Intel Wild. Hold on, let me read this before.
Probably shouldn't read it if you're cringing that hard already.
It pertains to destiny.
And like my sexuality.
No.
Is that relative or is that part of objective morals?
You
Is
know
it
what?
circular when you ask that question, or is it part of like your absolutist positions?
Do you know what you're even talking about?
Right. What is your opinion on Destiny allegedly recording your good friend having sex without her consent? And why
I mean,
do
it's
you
off
continue
topic,
to
Intel,
support
but
him?
if you want to.
Yeah, if he did that, it's bad.
Okay. All right. Thank you,
And
Intel Wild. Guys, $100 TTS if you want to get a message in here. If you're enjoying the stream, you can also support via Venmo Cash App. They don't take any cut like how YouTube and Streamlabs and apparently also, you guys, do you stream on YouTube at all? Or so apparently, I don't know if you know this. So YouTube takes 30% cut. You
It's
know
up
that.
to 45% if it's below $10.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Here's the other thing, though. If they're using an iPhone or another Apple device and they use the YouTube app to send it in, Apple takes 30% first. So if somebody donates, for example, they send in a $200 super chat, you're going to be left with $98 of the $200 super chat. So they take a lot, Just, for those of you who support Kyla or you support Jay here, just consider sending it through
Streamlabs.
either Streamlabs or some other method. And then if you're enjoying the stream, guys, like the video. Also, if you guys are watching on Twitch, drop us a follow on the Prime sub if you have one. Thank you, guys. Shall we get back to the debate? We have maybe about another 30 minutes or so.
Sure.
So,
Jay can just pick a word to define and then prattle about it. Actually, could you give me the history of a word?
You asked me for the definition, so
I did.
I don't know what you're talking about. Me prattling over the words when you asked for the definition.
I asked for definition and you
Right.
prattled for 30 minutes.
No,
about
I
the
gave
history.
you definitions connected
Eventually,
to the historical
I helped you
people.
get there.
You
That's
didn't help.
true.
No, you didn't do anything but
Yeah,
talk
I
yourself
pulled
into
it out.
oblivion.
I pulled it out of your
You didn't do
long
anything.
litany.
No,
We did it.
So you haven't explained why
Jay,
this
I'm
is.
sorry. Hold on.
I'm going
we've
back
been doing
to the
this.
debate.
We've been circling this.
But
just
you
for
haven't
content,
given.
just for content's
Can
sake,
you
let's do
restate
something
what your
interesting.
argument is as to why it's good, other than GDP? Is that your only argument?
I also believe that it is good because I think it is a liberal value to give people freedom.
Why
of
are liberal
opportunity.
values good?
I think it leads to the highest level of flourishing within a society.
Okay, so it's a circle. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good job.
All axioms are circular. Good job.
No. They're not all circular.
Yes,
I'm
all
not a
axioms
foundationalist.
are circular.
Right, but I'm not a foundationalist.
It doesn't
so
matter. All axioms are
No,
circular.
not everything. No, listen.
God is good.
How do you know that all axioms are circular?
It's fundamental. It's fundamental to
so
philosophy.
can I just claim that it's fundamental? Does that make it so?
This is like being like, how do you know that?
Correct. Yeah, it's called
that
epistemology.
P is the probability factor. It's like
Yeah, it's called
because
epistemology.
That's what it is.
It's called
I don't know.
epistemology. So what's the justification for that?
For which?
That all axioms are circular.
It's
How do you
because they're
know that?
foundational. They're foundational ideas.
That would mean that they're circular, right? Mm-hmm. So that's a circle. Mm-hmm. So your argument for how you know that is that it's a circle.
I'm saying no. What I'm saying when you refute my claim by going it's circular.
I'm asking you
all
for-
axioms are circular. Also,
How do you know that? Is what I'm asking.
It's foundational. It's just like basic.
Okay, so
it's
do you
basic
understand?
presuppositional
Do you understand?
logic.
And that's not. You don't even know what presuppositions are. No, you
Yes, I
don't.
do.
Because if you can do that in a debate, that means I can do that in the debate. So there's no debate possible. I can just say all of my beliefs and my positions are foundational and axiomatic.
It's almost like I said I could Agrippa trilemma you too, and then it would be stupid.
That's not what we're talking about.
That's exactly what we're talking about. Yes.
Tell me what an epistemic
Typically, when we
justification
engage in
is.
debates, we
What
grab
is an
some level of
epistemic
normativity of each
justification?
other's world so that we can
What
actually talk
is an
about
epistemic
ideas.
justification?
I don't know. Define it for me, Jay.
Well, I thought you knew all about philosophy.
No, you've been teaching
No,
me
you
so
told me
much. I
that
don't know
you said you were going to instruct me in philosophy.
I'm really dumb. Just tell me.
You said earlier that you knew philosophy. So what is epistemic
I'm
justification?
pretty sure I never said that I knew philosophy. In
No,
fact,
you did. You said I knew nothing. I knew no fallacies.
I laughed and
that
said
you knew
it's insane to me that you have a philosophy degree because I'm assuming you know philosophy, but you don't know multiple fallacies, and you unironically.
I know Jake got a degree. Okay, that's up. And people wonder why is the people that went to college pushing telling young people not to go to college. Many factors come into play. One, it's gonna make you poor, and two, that degree don't really do much in the real world, depending on what degree you take. But really, not really doing anything much in the real world, really. So that's something just to know. All right, let's go.
Are trying to say that the opposite
So you're
of
melting
relativism
down. I'm
is
sorry that you're
objectivism.
having a hard time, but this is how we do debates.
Okay.
What's the argument for feminism other than GDP? And it's just good and it's liberal? Okay. So do you understand that I can then come to the debate and say that it's good because it's not liberal?
Okay, and then I would say, why do you not value liberalism?
You're missing the point because
Why do you not value liberalism?
it's not. That's not an argument.
I think liberalism leads to higher levels
I
of
don't think
flourishing
you
based on
actually
every single statistical norm that we have that exists
what?
out there. That's what
So?
I value. I think that when people are
The
doing
fact that
better,
you
when
value
people are
that-
happier, healthier,
Listen,
fuller, better
the
mentally
fact
well,
that you
all
value
of that is
that
good.
doesn't make it an argument. That's the point.
I
That's
believe
your problem.
that God wants us to be happy, healthy,
Just
and
appealing
whole.
to that doesn't do anything for your case.
There is. I'm telling you, Jay. There's nothing I can say that you're not going to
No,
just throw circular
because you're
logic
not
at
making
me.
arguments.
I
Correct.
am
That's
making
what debates.
arguments.
No,
You're
you're
just
not.
unwilling to grant me any
Assertions
level of
are not
normativity.
arguments.
Okay.
Yeah, in a debate, I'm not going to grant you normativity.
I've made assertions.
Correct.
I've supplied evidence for it, and then you've just gone, oh, it's circular.
No, you're
it's
the one
circular."
that's like losing it and
No,
flapping
I've
around.
said GDP. I said flourishing is good because it improves.
Why is that the good?
I believe that it is good because I think
The
overall.
fact that you believe that doesn't make it
because
good.
I think that God wants us to be happy, healthy, whole, and good people, and I think that liberal
But you
societies
haven't demonstrated
produce,
that those things
I
are-
think that liberal societies produce all of those outcomes to the highest level. That doesn't mean that I think that God is a liberal by any means. God is so much more and beyond all of that. But I think by and large, the liberal system
if he
leads to
promotes
the
that,
greatest
then he would
possible
be a
outcomes.
liberal.
God is so much bigger than any label or construct that any human can apply to him. I don't even know why you're saying that.
Because it's a dumb argument. What you're
right.
arguing
It
is
would be a
stupid.
dumb argument for me to apply
your
any
dumb
political
argument.
fucking label to the omnipotent
You
God.
just said that liberal societies are good. That's what you appeal to in terms of divine command theory. So that would make God illiberal.
No, it wouldn't. At all, because I'm sure
Can
you
you
can
think
conceive of a
through
world.
your own
I'm sure you can
arguments?
conceive of a world where God is more than any political system.
Just saying God's more.
My best
if
possible
I promote
interpretation
something,
of how to engage
if I
in the
promote
world
liberalism,
in a good
then
way.
I'm a liberal.
You know, we're gonna put that test with liberals. If you know, so y'all stay tuned. Next stream I'm doing, it's gonna be sitting around with two ladies from two different race, and they follow liberal and conservatism. Stay tuned to that. But find out, you must make sure to subscribe to this channel. Let's go.
I don't think
So you
that
have
God promotes-
conflicting
I think
positions.
liberalism strikes as close
That's good
to
that
it.
you-
No, not at all. You're just not engaging with what
You
I'm saying.
literally can't think through your own arguments.
You
This
can't.
is so sad.
You actually can't
You
understand me
said
or
that
your bad
liberal
faith.
society is what God wants, but God's not
I
a
didn't
liberal.
say that. I didn't
You
say
did
that.
say that.
I said that what God wants is for people to be happy, healthy, whole. And I
That's
think
your liberal
And I
society.
think a liberal society leads us towards that, the best that we have created so
Then
far.
God wants a liberal society,
no,
and
I'm
God's
sure
a
that
liberal.
God wants something more for us
Oh
than
my
that.
gosh.
But we
That's a parts whole fallacy.
No,
you
it's
idiot.
not. No, it's
the fact that he
fucking
wants
not.
it more doesn't
Jay.
mean that he doesn't want the liberalism.
no, God
You
is not a
can't
liberal.
follow an argument.
No, God is not a liberal. I'm not applying.
Your own position would mean he is.
no,
you
it,
idiot.
no, it wouldn't. I
Yes, it
already
would.
no, Jay. I've already said that God is
The
more
fact
than
that he's more doesn't mean that he's not promoting the liberalism that you just argued
Can you
he does.
summarize? Okay, Jay, can you summarize my argument in any way?
It's not. There's no argument. It's
Summarize
literal
my argument.
child yapping. It's like
Summarize
a
my
3-year-old
argument.
yapping out of a
Summarize
crib.
then it should be really easy for
There
you to
is no
summarize my
argument to
argument.
summarize.
Summarize it, anyways.
Happy, healthy, whole, flourishing society is liberal, and that's what God wants.
Nope.
Therefore, God's a liberal.
No, none of these are my arguments.
It would follow.
No, it wouldn't.
That's literally what you just said.
No.
You said God wants a liberal society.
I said it's the closest approximation to what I think God wants.
Then
for
he
us.
wants that.
No, he probably wants something more for us than that.
Then it's still part of that. If
No,
he wants
it's not.
more,
It's possible that it's
oh my God.
it's fucking
You don't.
some
so
new
this
system
whole
that will
debate,
make 200
the
years
whole
from
debate,
now.
you've misunderstood what part whole fallacies are. When you go home, I want you to get on your computer and I want you to watch a few talks on what a parts whole fallacy is because
You
you've
should
made
go
that
home,
multiple times.
And I want you to look up what an ad hoc
No, but I'm
is,
actually
what a
telling
tu
you
quo pro
how
is,
you would
what
do
a false
better.
analogy
I know you
is,
don't
so that
understand
when
right
you
now because you're in your
weaponize-
emotions,
and you
because
use
you're
ecological
losing it.
fallacy. I'm not losing. You're just not
You're
engaging. in my
losing
argument.
it because you don't know what you're saying.
It's just endless. Like if you don't want to engage.
So you would be a
anything that I'm-
better debater if you knew what a parts whole fallacy was. I'm
you
trying
would
to help
be a better
you.
debater
I'm trying to help you.
if you could even slightly engage in my normativity so that we could have a conversation.
I'm not going to grant
But
you that. It's a
instead,
debate.
The way that you think
don't know
that
how
you win a
debates
debate
work.
to basically
I'm not going to
people
grant you normativity
who don't
for
understand
you.
anything about what we're
She
talking
wants me to
about.
grant her position in the debate.
Yes, typically when you engage.
No,
yes,
that's not.
Yes.
So
yes,
debates
yes.
work by granting positions. This is what she thinks.
It engage. You grant one another's normativity framework.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do.
I don't.
Yes, you do.
I don't
or you,
grant that.
Then you end up at Agrippa's trilemma.
No, you end up at you floundering and losing your mind and flaming out.
Why?
Spurging out.
Why
That's
does God want the world that you want?
I can make that argument.
Make it.
My worldview is coherent. It makes sense.
Why does God want?
All of history,
what do you want?
All of history has been patriarchal societies in terms of Christian and Old Testament Hebrew revelation. They're
How do you know that God
patriarchal.
wants that though?
By your own argument, you argue that it's divine command theory in the Old Testament.
So
you already admitted it's patriarchal.
What value? What God value is coming out of that?
God, the Father, is a patriarch.
God wants patriarchy specifically.
The Father is
Why?
a patriarch because He's a patriarch.
So, isn't that a little circular?
I don't have a problem with circular arguments.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so God wants a patriarchy because He's a patriarch. Therefore, God is good, and patriarchy is good because God is a patriarch.
You're just yapping and turning on a bunch of, adding a bunch of things.
That's a really nice circle. See how we can just end up in Agrippa's trilemma together, and it's stupid. So instead,
there's a difference between.
What I do is I will just grant you elements of your worldview. That's not what I do. So that we can engage.
I don't grant those things. No, I'm a presuppositionalist. That means I don't grant you your position.
This is probably why you're a really annoying person to debate, and that
that's
you've been
why I
debating
don't
for 15
lose.
years, but you think that you
25 years.
You're not winning. You're not winning by just engaging in Agrippa's trilemma. All you're doing is
you don't even understand the debate.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
What's
you
Agrippa's
don't understand
trilemma?
what a paradigm level critique is.
Define it.
You don't understand what a paradigm level critique is.
Before I keep going, can you define Agrippa's trilemma?
You don't understand what a paradigm level critique is.
What's Agrippa's trilemma?
I'm not going to answer your questions because you don't know what a paradigm level critique is.
Okay, well,
why would that have
where
anything
is
to
the
do with
proof
you
for
answering feminism?
What's Agrippa's trilemma?
Where's the proof for feminism?
What's Agrippa's trilemma?
Where is the proof for feminism?
I gave you multiple pieces of
so
evidence.
you don't have an argument for feminism?
I have multiple pieces of evidence.
No, evidences are not arguments.
Evidences are arguments.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
No,
yes, they are.
Evidence is backup arguments, you idiot. An evidence is not an argument.
Yes, you use multiple
back to
premises.
school.
Oh my God, you're so
An evidence
retarded.
is not an argument. It backs it up.
What's Agrippa's trilemma?
An evidence is not an argument.
Oh my God! wait. Now I don't got the sound. God damn it! I gotta get more different sound bites. God damn it! Oh, this is good. Oh, woo. All right, let's keep going.
You use
evidences support arguments, you moron.
Wow, you're so
you
smart.
moron. Yes, it does support arguments. Jay is right. What time I'm watching? I can see why no one watching this. Damn. Oh man, shit. Let's keep going, man. I'm sorry, guys. I don't think I'm in the mood for all this. I gotta keep playing.
Jay, you really got me with that one.
Stupid mistakes.
You really got me with that one, buddy.
What's the argument for feminism?
What's Agrippa's trilemma?
What's the argument for feminism?
What's Agrippa's trilemma?
What's the argument for feminism?
I've made it multiple times.
No,
What's
you
Agrippa's
didn't.
trilemma?
You gave evidences, not an
just
argument.
because you don't like it doesn't mean I haven't made it.
Not an argument.
What's Agrippa's trilemma?
You gave evidences, not an argument.
My argument is supplied by the evidences. It is good for society. That's my argument.
And I said, what's the good? That relies on the good, which is what?
Flourishing, happiness, well-being.
And God's a liberal.
Some level of like sovereignty and safety.
God's a liberal because he wants a liberal society.
I never said God is a liberal. I said, of course, God is so much more than anything we could ever apply a construct to because I'm not a fucking heretic. Are you crazy? I would never apply any political label.
You don't see the divorce between those two
I would
positions.
never apply. I'm sorry.
It's like talking to a wall.
God is sacred to me. I would never apply a label to God ever about anything.
So he wants a liberal society, but he's not a liberal.
Even my own.
So he wants a liberal society, but he's not a liberal.
He wants so much more.
That's a partial fallacy, you idiot.
That doesn't matter.
Oh, fallacies don't matter. Thank you.
Yeah, when you abuse them incorrectly, yeah, they don't really matter. Do you think that God is any political system? What political system do you think God wants?
Yeah, I think God wants a patriarchy.
Patriarchy isn't a political system. It's a hierarchical society.
It relates to a political system.
That doesn't matter. There's patriarchies in democracies. There's patriarchies
a monarchy
in monarchies.
in the Old Testament.
So God
Israel
wants a
was
monarchy?
Yeah, he was
God
a patriarchal deity.
Oh.
Has Christianity had anything but monarchies for the last 2,000 years?
So you're comfortable capturing the entire visage of God in a single political system. You're comfortable with that?
Did I say his visage is encaptioned?
You said that God wants a monarchy, so God's a monarchist?
Correct.
Wow, that's crazy.
Patriarchal.
I'm not heretical like that. I don't know what to tell you.
Heretical.
Yes, I would never apply a human label.
You have no idea
to
what
God.
heresy even is.
Okay. What's Agrippa's trilemma? Do you want to answer it
What
yet?
is an Orthodox Protestant, first of all? The thing that you made up and put in your bio. What is that?
It's a branch of theology that is postmodern, and it more or less tries to engage with the Bible.
That's heresy, right?
It's not heresy.
Postmodernism is heresy.
That's not heresy.
Yes, it is.
No.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with Christianity.
I'm sorry, it's
Can you
engaging
name
with
any
the Bible in the way that it was
Can you
written
name
by the
any
original
Christians in
writers.
history that were postmodernists?
The original ones, yeah.
Really? Like
Yeah.
who? Paul?
Yeah.
Paul was a postmodernist.
Yeah, to some
so
degree.
a 20th century philosophy that developed out of France.
You don't even know what I
Paul
mean.
was a postmodernist. This is how stupid you are.
Do you know what
have no clue what you're talking about.
So how
You're
did Paul-
a total suit.
how did Paul engage
Did
with
you
the Bible?
think that because you knew destiny and just yapping really fast that you would be a good debater? How could Paul be a postmodernist?
Do you want me to answer? Or
Was
do you want to talk? Okay.
was Paul talking to Derrida? Was he talking to Derrida?
Remember how
Was Paul talking to
words,
Derrida?
just because they weren't invented
You're
yet,
so silly.
doesn't mean that you can't apply
You have
them
no
to
idea what you're
history.
talking about. Now you're making my argument. Thank you
Civil
for
rights
admitting my
couldn't exist
argument.
because the
Thank
Civil
you for
Rights Act
admitting my
didn't
argument 2 hours ago.
No.
Good job. You just lost again.
Wow. This is crazy. I won. He just made weird noises. What's Agrippa's trilemma? You don't know. You're avoiding
What
this because you have
is
no idea.
Your argument
That
for
is so funny.
feminism.
What's Agrippa's trilemma?
What's your argument for feminism? I haven't
made
heard
it
anything other
multiple
than
times.
no. You didn't make an argument. You just
I
said
know
GDP.
you don't like it.
Why is GDP
I've said
good?
way more than GDP at this point.
Why is GDP
What's Agrippa's
good?
trilemma?
What you said? God's a liberal. Is what you said.
What's Agrippa's trilemma?
Why is God a liberal?
I don't know why you can't answer this.
Why is God a liberal?
I've never applied that. That's your straw man.
Why
at
is
me.
God a liberal?
Why are you straw manning me?
Why is God a liberal?
Why are you straw manning me?
You said that he wants a liberal society.
Nope.
Therefore, he's a
I
liberal.
never said that.
Yes, you
said
did.
that.
Now
Nope.
you're lying
Nope.
again.
Nope.
You
straw
said
manned.
30 minutes
Nope.
ago he
Nope.
wants a
Nope.
liberal
Nope.
society.
I said it's the closest approximation to something that God wants for
Then
us.
he wants that.
No, he would want so much more for us.
The fact that he wants more doesn't mean he doesn't want that if he's pushing that. You just argued from divine command theory that's what he wants.
No.
Yes, you did.
No, he wants more than
Yes,
that.
you did.
No.
The fact that he wants more than that doesn't mean that he doesn't want that.
No.
It's part of the more.
Do you think he wants more than monarchy? Or
It
does he end
doesn't
there?
matter to the argument.
Does he end at
So
monarchy?
you can't do a parts whole fallacy.
Does he? Does he?
It's
end
a
at
parts
monarchy?
whole fallacy.
If you want to do a fallacy game again, tell me what Agrippa's trilemma is.
I'm not answering any of your
Crazy.
objections
It's
or
because he
questions
doesn't.
until you
chat,
give an argument for
just
feminism.
so you're aware, he just.
What
doesn't
is
know
the
what it
argument for feminism
Just
other
so you
than
guys
GDP
know,
and God liberal?
Agrippa's trilemma is really important to understand.
What is-
Anytime a person tries to hit you with this
What?
like circular, like normative, like no
She-
argument you made
You're not even-
makes any sense.
you're not even doing the
what you
debate.
have to hit them back with is essentially Agrippa's trilemma, which is that
She's just
all
repeating
things
what you
can't
heard Destiny
fundamentally
say.
be truly. I
She's
don't
just
think
repeating
I've
some
ever
bullshit
heard-
from Destiny.
I don't think I've ever heard him ever talk
What's
about
the
Agrippa's
argument for
trilemma.
feminism other than GDP and God liberal?
And so when you're dealing with people
Well,
who just
God
like
liberal.
constantly fall back
God
on
liberal.
circular reasoning and like
God
trying to hit you with
liberal.
like,
God wants
none of this
feminism.
stuff makes any sense. Agrippa's
What's the
trilemma
ought?
basically points out that every single argument fundamentally at like a foundational level never truly makes sense. There's some level of like ambiguous
Who's up here?
lack
Who
of
are you talking to
justification.
up here?
I'm
Are you
thinking.
spurging out?
Good one.
There's nobody up there.
Good
What do you-
one.
I'm right here.
Why are you wearing a silly shirt? How come you have to close your eyes? Why do you have floaters in
sick
your eyes?
burn.
Look how
Oh,
stupid that.
sick burn.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's stupid. I'm not saying it's a sick burn. I'm pointing out how silly your behavior is. So, do you want to engage in Agrippa's trilemma? Because then you and I can just do turtles all the way down if you want to.
Again,
Which is part of Agrippa's
you don't
trilemma,
even
which he doesn't know what it is,
understand
and he
what-
won't define
what's
it.
to be
He's just
debated.
going to run away forever.
I don't accept the infinite regress at all.
Yeah, I don't accept this either. And really, truly, I don't know what was the purpose of this back and forth. Now I think about it, I feel lost. And I never don't get lost when the conversation gets really good. At least Jay keeps us entertained with the back and forth with his chick. Yeah, that's the only thing I can say about this debate. Let's continue.
Oh, wow. How do you do that?
How do I do that?
Yeah.
I don't have that philosophical system.
Yeah, but how do you solve it?
It's not a problem.
It's not a
in-
philosophical system. Infinite regress is not a
She's not
philosophical system. It's a foundational issue to every single philosophical system.
I'm aware of that. I'm a presuppositionalist. I know how that works.
Right. So there's
That's like my
always a why
specialty.
behind your presuppositions, right?
What does that have to do with this?
That's what infinite
A why?
regress is. Yeah, there's a why
I know what
behind
an
every
infinite
presup-
regress is.
So how
You're
do
not going to convince anyone in the audience
how do you
that
solve
you're
it?
trumping me here. Because all
You
systems...
say that, but he still won't define
Every
Agrippa's
time I try to
trilemma.
answer, you just keep yapping. You
Yeah,
don't
it's
shut
only
up.
me that's interrupting. You're right.
You don't shut up when you ask the
No, go ahead.
questions. I have a worldview view of apologetics
Mm-hmm.
and debate. Okay, it's epistemic holism. I said that like 10 times earlier, which you didn't hear, it didn't register with you. So I'm not subject to a position that's a foundationalist critique. Okay, I'm not an epistemic foundationalist, so that doesn't apply to me. I don't have that system.
Wow, you've solved Agrippa's trilemma?
Yes, because I'm
Wow.
not in that system.
That's crazy. That's not possible. Just so everyone's aware, that is impossible.
Tell me what a
philosophically.
presuppositional argument is, since you're saying that this is my position. What is it?
A presuppositional argument is where you have like a presupposing of God. Like God is a presuppositional argument. There's some foundational initial cause, and everything kind of comes from
No,
there.
that's the cosmological argument. That's not the presuppositional argument.
Okay, why don't you tell me what it is?
It's just simply an epistemic position that all arguments at root are circular. Not every argument, but foundational commitments in a worldview are circular. So my fundamental commitment to God, or to teleology, or to causation, or to morals or ethics is going to be self-referencing to God. But not all arguments and positions are circular. So the trilemma or the problem or whatever you're giving to me doesn't apply to my position.
How do you solve
as a whole.
dogmatism with that?
All positions are dogmatic, and so
you're right.
coherentism is the solution that you're looking for.
True. Okay, so you solved dogmatism.
Coherentism is the solution that you're looking for.
Gotcha. Okay.
Can you tell me what that is?
Coherentism would be like something's consistent all the way through.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'm a coherentist.
Do I get like a
There
head
you go.
pat?
I'm a coherentist. There's the answer to your question. I'm not a foundationalist.
Gotcha.
You're a foundationalist. That's why I didn't grant you the normativity at the beginning of the debate.
Gotcha. Well, you know what? If he's going to answer for me, then I honestly probably don't need to be here. You could just make my arguments for me. There's no point.
I'm answering your question that you asked me.
You
said, how do I solve these dilemmas?
See,
And I gave you the answer.
Here's the difference, right?
And you just don't like the answer. I'm
No,
sorry.
I'm just willing to grant you your worldview. I'm fine with it.
I don't do that in debates.
You have to. Otherwise, you end up
You
here.
don't grant a person
Yes.
the commitment.
Otherwise, you end up at dogmatism, and I end up at infinite regression.
That's why I did an internal critique.
Okay.
That has to do with coherentism.
Yeah. The problem
Anyway,
with dogmatism is that it's circular, and the problem with infinite regress is it fundamentally is circular.
All positions are dogmatic at root, is what I'm arguing.
Yes.
So it's
I
a
know.
question of coherence.
Which is why you
versus
allow.
incoherence, and why your position is
This is
incoherent.
why you grant some level
No.
of normativity.
No, you don't.
Yes, you
No,
do.
you don't.
You must. And
You don't understand debate.
the issue is that my positions are coherent as well. I think
No,
about
they're
them.
not.
Yes, they are.
They're
You
just coherent
don't-
in your head because
no,
they're
you just don't
self-referencing
like
to your
them.
health.
You just don't like
You
them.
literally grounded it in your own subjective
That's not an
appeal.
argument. Why aren't you making an argument?
What?
What do you mean? You're not making an argument.
You appeal to yourself.
What do you mean? That's not true. I'm a divine command theorist. Were you not listening?
You saying that is not an argument.
We're not listening.
Your
That's
argument
not an
is-
argument either.
That's a tu quoque.
What's your position?
That's a tu quoque.
That's not a tu quoque.
How is it not?
Because a tu quoque is an ad hom based on hypocrisy. I didn't accuse you of hypocrisy.
You said that's your position. You just literally just did that.
She knew that. Oh no, you
literally
used
just
the
did
fallacy
that.
wrong again.
You literally just said that to me.
I'm realizing that to debate Jay, I just have to memorize every single fallacy because I think you used them
Yeah,
all
I'm pretty sure
incorrectly.
debates
you
relate
used
to
false analogy incorrectly. You
No, I
used
didn't.
tu quoque
No,
incorrectly.
you made the false analogy,
No.
you idiot.
No. No.
You made the false analogy, not
You
me.
engaged in an ecological fallacy.
You made the false analogy, and then you misstated what my argument was because you can't follow
the
it.
key to debating Jay is memorizing lists of fallacies.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the
to point
laws
out
of thought,
when he uses them
the laws of
incorrectly.
thought matter
You
in a
knew that,
debate.
though.
I'm pretty sure.
You knew
I'm
that
pretty
tu
sure the laws
quoque-
of thought matter in a debate.
Were you
I'm pretty
misciting
sure.
tu quoque intentionally?
I didn't cite it wrong.
Yes, you
I
did.
cited it
It's an-
correctly.
no,
you literally just turned it back and said, "Well, you do this."
That's not a tu
Yes,
quoque.
it is.
No, it's
Yes,
not.
it is.
I wasn't accusing you of hypocrisy.
Yes, you did.
No,
you
I
said
didn't.
that I was making the
Oh,
same
yes, she
argument.
was.
That's
Oh,
not a tu quoque.
Yes, it is. You're
No,
calling me
it's not.
hypocrite.
Oh, this chick is lying. Of course you accuse him. Mostly throughout the whole conversation, you accuse him of you know, this is why when you catch a lot of ladies in the trick bag, they start fumbling, they start stuttering, they go because they don't even know what the hell they're goddamn saying. Cause they're not paying attention throughout the whole conversation. All right, I'm gonna wrap this up, man. I'm playing a few more of this, and this is it.
That's not hypocrisy. I'm not accusing you of hypocrisy. Hypocrisy would be if you say one thing and then do a different thing. Like if you're like, don't smoke, and I'm like, but you're smoking, Jay. That would be a tu quoque. Don't smoke is a completely
No.
valid argument, regardless of whether
You
you,
don't
smoke or
understand
not.
what you're yapping about.
That's crazy. You just actually cite
I said-
fallacies incorrectly.
No.
And then you hope that
you
your
have a
opponent doesn't know
child-level
them.
understanding of
That's
what
so
the
funny.
definition is at a
It's-
website.
it's fine, yeah.
And what you did
That's an
was a
ecological
two-quote.
fallacy
So
right
here we
now.
go again. You can't even talk like a normal person.
Neither can you, Jay.
literally lose your mind, rolling your eyes. You're
Where are you
basically
looking right now?
You're
Where are you looking
basically
right now?
having you're basically having like an epileptic episode trying to debate because you can't handle a normal conversation.
So I started very good faith. Where are you looking right now, Jay?
Directly at you.
Why? Why are you doing that?
Because normal people look at people, they don't stare up into the sky and have epileptic episodes.
Oh, yeah, you're right. She's so wrong because you looked into the sky. Got him.
No, you're just yapping and you don't even understand the things you're talking about.
I am literally, I don't know. So, chat, just so you guys realize, what I've done for the last hour is unironically just employed Jay-isms back at him for an hour straight. That's what I've been doing.
So
if it sounds really, really stupid,
her tactic was to
it's
not
because
actually
it is.
debate, but to just mimic
There's no way to debate
which is
you
interesting
when you
because
won't- when you
women
are just
basically are
relying on
mimicking
Agrippa's
men.
trilemma.
Women basically just mimic
Yes,
men,
the
and that's
moment
what
that
you did.
somebody,
Because
so
you didn't have an
for the people
actual
who are
argument.
interested, the moment
you're
that somebody just
mimicking
falls
me.
back on like basically circular reasoning and just insisting that you were
I gave you the
incoherent
answers
because
and you
you're
didn't
not
know what they
using
were.
the,
I
like,
said
normative
epistemic.
framework that
I said,
they like.
I said
Personally,
coherence.
there's an impasse.
She
There's
just
just
can't
no
even
way to
talk.
talk
It's
about
like
these
talking
things.
to a
So
wall.
instead, all I opted to do for the last like hour and a half
There's nobody
is
up here.
your behavior.
There's no one over here.
I'm looking at the camera.
No, but you know you're looking at the
Jay,
wall.
I don't know why you're so
You're having
worried.
an epileptic episode.
Why are you
I'm sorry.
worried about?
Just
Why
relax.
are you worried
Do we
about
need your
where I'm looking?
Do you need a medicine for the epilepsy or
Why are you
what's going
worried
on?
about where I'm looking?
It's just funny, like because you can't.
I don't-
Look
I'm
at,
not even
you
sure
can't
how
have
it's
a
funny
conversation
that I
and
look up.
in the person's eye. and-
Yes, when
and
I
make
think,
your
I
argument.
look up.
Good for you.
Good point. Got him. Destroyed.
What is the argument for feminism other than GDP? Is that it?
I believe that it's good for society because it leads to overall flourishing,
Which was
well-being.
economic liberalism?
Nope. Well-being.
What does that mean?
Well-being typically is measured by like positive mental health, some level of eudaimonic expression, and some level of like self-report of eudaimonic expression. It also leads to things like less missed work, greater social connections, greater access to opportunities, all sorts of things that I think are broadly good for society, leads to better outcomes, leads to happier people. And I think by and large, God doesn't want us to like be punished arbitrarily for no reason. So I think he more or less wants a society that allows us to express in the way that we want to.
Which is a
and to
liberal
find
society.
him. There's probably multiple societies that would allow this in the future, not just a liberal one.
Does he want a liberal one right now?
I don't know.
But earlier you argued that it was God.
I hope
wanting
so.
this.
Yeah, I hope so.
Man, all right, I'm done with this, man. That's a straight, honest answer. Do you want a liberal society now? And he said, I don't know. I'm done. I'm sorry, guys. I think Andrew has better. What would be more? Well, no, Andrew would have headache going through with these chicks, so it wouldn't make a difference either. At the end of the day, this is part 2, and there's probably like next 40 minutes of this, and I was not gonna really go through the whole thing now. Now I think about it because it's a whole mockery of the debates. Jay, he holds on to a degree, but man, too much joking with this chick because this chick, it's like all it takes is a few questioning, defining. You have to really educate her because it don't seem like she has no difference between GOP and debt. It's a whole mess. I tell you, if you want to know this, you got to go back to one of the other streams on this. But at the end of the day, if I had to quote which one won this debate, I'm sorry to give it to Jay. I was going to be fair and say maybe she got it, but nah, that ain't happening. Anyhow, y'all guys leave your comments and thoughts, depending if this is available. If not, become a member. Anyhow, thank y'all for watching. Until next time, like literally. Let it chaos reign.
Man, fuck
They like the chaos.
They like the chaos. So when you're able to
Chaos.
let that chaos reign with,
Chaos.
let that chaos reign with,
Chaos.
let that chaos reign with,
Must reign